This meditation is going to be looking at anxiety and stress, something that is so present today in society more than ever before. So if you're new to meditation, don't be afraid. I'm going to simplify it so that it's easy for everybody to achieve. And a few notes before we get started. Firstly, with meditation and mindfulness, all you want to remember is that it's like a cyclical, like a circle motion, that you focus on the meditation. Inevitably, your mind will wander, but it's about how quickly you can notice the mind wandering and bring it back to the attention of the meditation. So don't beat yourself up when your mind wanders and you start getting shopping lists and things to do in your mind, but just become aware of that moment and bring your attention back to the meditation, back to the breath. Secondly, for how you can sit in meditation, there's a few different options. So I sit like this, so you can sit cross-legged on the floor. You can also, if you have tight hips, so if you're sat in the office all day at a computer, it might be better for you to bring a cushion and sitting on a cushion coming up, and so that your knees are actually going downwards so that you have an open hip space. Instead of sitting on the floor with your knees up, you can just let your knees drop down. Alternatively, you can sit up against a wall if you need extra back support. But before we start the meditation, it's always good to get as comfortable as you can in your seated position so that you don't want to wriggle and you can stay as conscious as possible to the meditation. So with all that said, let's begin. So come to your chosen meditation position, closing your eyes and bringing the palms of your hands facing up on your knees. Begin to deepen your breath. Becoming aware of the cool inhale and the warmth on the exhale. With every breath, getting present with how you feel right now in this moment. Making each breath bring you deeper into a relaxation. And bringing our attention now back to the subject of anxiety and stress. And in today's society, so many of us suffer from this. And when you think into what anxiety and stress does within the body, often it's related to a breath pattern. So when you think about anxiety and stress within the body, often it's related to a breath pattern. When we feel anxious and stressed, our breath shortens and quickens. And if we allow that breath to keep shortening and quicken, it can get into more of a panic state. But what meditation is great at is becoming aware of what happens within the body and bringing awareness to it. And once you're aware of what the breath does, you can deepen the breath and with that completely change your state. So I want you to now take your imagination to what happens in your own body when you're feeling anxious or stressed. Where does that feeling reside in your body? Maybe it's in your stomach, in your chest, sending the breath into the area that has been brought attention to in your own body. And even saying the word anxiety or stress, how does it make your body feel? For me, there's a tightening in my stomach, a shortening of breath. It's almost a restriction. So breathing into that area and begin to deepen your breath. Noticing what happens to the body when you deep inhale and exhale. Notice the calming feeling that arises. This technique is available anytime you start feeling anxious or stressed in your everyday life. What meditation is great for is becoming so self-aware of yourself that you start noticing the tiny intricacies of your own body, of your own reactions to stress and anxiety. And the quicker you can realize that the breath is changing or the body is tightening, the quicker you can come back into this state, changing your breath patterns, which in turn changes your emotional state. And if your mind has wandered, bring your attention back to your breath. Know that in a way that our mind can be in the past, present, or future, our body and breath is always just in the present moment. So when you get distracted, bringing your attention straight back to your breath will bring you back to this moment. Begin to notice how your body feels different already from the start of this practice. Is there a sense of calm? A sense of self-awareness that perhaps you don't usually concentrate on? Using the breath to look inwardly, switching off from everything that's happening in your external world, and just giving yourself this time, this space, to feel how you're really feeling. Are you somebody that carries around anxious and stress with you most of the time? If so, bringing in a 10-minute meditation daily can be a huge help to starting the day settled and calm. The key to becoming mindful is a regular practice, a regular check-in with yourself and your breath. Again, becoming present to if your mind has wandered. Noticing if it has wandered, where does your mind wander to? And when you bring yourself back to the breath, are you nice to yourself? Do you have compassion with the fact that your mind has wandered, or are you angry at yourself? Become present to how you talk to yourself in your mind. Meditation is all about awareness and compassion. Feeling back into that part of yourself where you carry your anxious and stress. Sending more breath into that area. noticing that each breath can bring more and more calm. And if you're first starting out in meditation and you find it hard to bring yourself to a calm, not to beat yourself up, but just to bring yourself back to the breath, to the awareness, with compassion. Meditation is about empowerment. Empowerment that you can change the emotional state that you're in by changing your breath, your presence. By changing your inner world, you can change your external world. Slowly deepening the breath. Becoming aware of your physical body again. Making small movements in your fingers and your toes. Moving your head from side to side. Taking one deep inhale into your heart. And slowly opening your eyes when you're ready. Thank you for joining me for this meditation.